Welcome back. It's Zane from At Home with Zane, and today I want to share with you a topic. It is the topic of presentation and why I think presentation is so important. So I go out once a month with a group of people, and we just talk about all different sorts of things, in the community, different topics, and the topic of presentation came up today. Basically because there is a woman who is getting ready to sell her home, and so she was kind of asking me some advice on what she should do. It's the first time that she's sold a home, so she wasn't really sure exactly how she should get her home ready to sell. They're selling it by owner. So I was telling her some of the tips that I've used in the past and some of my advice. And so another lady chimes in and she says, I don't really understand all of that. I kind of don't really understand why, it really matters. The people are going to buy the home if they like the home. Stop me in my tracks. So I then got on the whole topic of presentation and why that is so important. And so a little story is that I'll share with you. Many years ago, I had participated in a tag sale that a local organization was putting on, and you rented a booth space, which actually the booth space was a parking spot in the lot of this church. And so I purchased my spot. It was like $25, and I was able to have 3 tables. I could have a table in the front and 2 tables on the side. So I started getting all of my items together. It was really sort of like a garage sale, but it was for the community. And as I'm going through some of my items, I'm taking out, like linens and different things, and I'm ironing them and I'm tagging them very nicely. And a lady who was also renting a booth, she and I were kind of getting ready together. She said, why are you wasting your time on all of that? That's so ridiculous. People are either going to buy it, they're not going to buy it. It doesn't really matter. You're wasting your time. So I went ahead and I continued to press my napkins and press my linens and tag everything really nicely. I actually bought some craft tags, and I really wanted everything to look very presentable. Even though they were used goods, I wanted people to see the quality in them. So it comes nearing, the day of the sale, and I've purchased some twin bed sheets that were flat sheets, and they were black, and they were really inexpensive. They were like twin bed sheets. I think I paid $5 each for them, and so I now have like $15 invested in my tablecloths and the money for the booth. So she says, oh my goodness, you are spending so much money to try to get ready to have this sale, and you want to make money off of it, and you're spending money on it, and this is so ridiculous. People are not going to care about that. So it's now the day of the sale, and we show up, and I set up my tables, and I get out my black tablecloths, and I had made a banner for the front of my table, and I had some balloons, and everything was displayed beautifully. And she starts setting up her booth, and everything looked like a junk pile. So she says, oh, people just love rummaging through stuff. They love digging through boxes. And so she had all these boxes sitting out and piled with crap. And I looked at her booth and I thought, if I were at this sale, I would honestly just walk right past your booth and keep on moving, because I am not a rummager. I don't want to rummage through boxes. First off, the couple times I've done it, there's always a spider in the box, and I'm like, I hate spiders. So I was like, I'm not rummaging through boxes that are sitting on the ground. Leave that for somebody else. So I did not think that her presentation was, going to really make her any money. And I was right. So she's doing her thing in her booth next door, and it looks like a junk rummage pile. And I have my beautifully displayed booth, and as people are passing by, they're stopping. and they're looking at my items and they thought, oh my gosh, all of this looks like such great quality. And before you know it, I have this huge crowd around my booth, and I went home with one little small box of stuff that I took. She drug home nearly everything she brought. So I told her, I said, well, I guess there's a little lesson to be learned here, and that is that presentation does matter. So today I was sharing that story, and the lady said, you know, I never really thought about it, but when I go out to a rummage sale or a garage sale, I do the same thing. If I see something that looks like junk, I just pass by it. So you've made a really good point. Point being, presentation does matter. You can take something that looks like crap and turn it into something that looks like $1 million. And whether it be upcycling something, or you pick something up at the Goodwill and you take it home and you polish it up and give it new life, or whether it's just something that you own yourself, giving it a presented look is extremely important. And certainly if you're trying to sell your home. But even when we have a yard sale, we'll have, you know, an annual yard sale, people always compliment and say, this looks like a store. This is the fanciest yard sale I've ever been to. That's because I label everything very nicely. I make sure it's in good quality. I don't put tattered items out there. If it's not something that's sellable, then I'll simply donate it or I will pitch it. But to me, presentation is absolutely key. So I wanted to share with you today, for anyone who has ever questioned whether presentation matters, in my own opinion, this is all my own opinion, it does matter. I think it's extremely important for you to make sure that, you know, certainly if you're trying to sell something, you want to make it look presentable. But I just think in general, you know, when you walk out of the house, you want to look presentable. I think that you should, you know, try to make everything look presentable whenever you're displaying it in your home. Or, you know, if you're somebody who kind of really doesn't care so much, then, you know, presentation probably doesn't matter to you. But if you're someone who really does care about what things look like, take that little bit of extra time to make sure that it's being presented well. And certainly if it's something that you want people to take an active interest in, you want to make sure that you polish it up and give it its very best look. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave your comments below, visit my website, www.AtHomeWithZane.com. We'll look for you the next time, and remember, it's your home. Create a space you'll truly love.